YouTube, it's Foxy Chick EC, and I am here with my annual video because I can never seem to record a video any sooner than a year between videos. Ridiculous. Anyway, I'm back. Hey y'all. Okay, so today's video is going to be a little different than what I normally post on this channel. I normally talk about hair extensions, all that fun stuff. Today I'm going to be talking about career stuff and school stuff. As you can probably tell by the title, which you have to read to click on the video to get here, I'm a PA student. I'm a physician assistant student. So I'm going to be talking about what I've experienced so far. I just finished my first summer semester, and I'm now in the fall semester. So I go to PA school in Indiana. I'm in the state of Indiana, and I'm in a 27-month program. So the first 15 months of our program is classroom work, didactic work, and then the next 12 months are clinical rotations. So I applied in August of 2016. August 1st, I think, was like the deadline to submit your application in CASPA, and I just made it. And then I interviewed. I was notified that I was going to get an interview in September. I was very excited. I interviewed mid-October, and a couple days later, I got the phone call, and they told me I was in, and I was so excited. I'm still excited, honestly. We began in May of 2017 with our summer semester and ended in August. So between October of 2016 and May of 2017, I got married. I had time to get all together. Thank God the timing worked out. So all Gucci. So right now we're in the fall semester. My stats from my application, because everyone always wants to know the stats. What are my chances? How do I compare? Let me just let you know now, I'm not a traditional student. So a lot of people that apply to PA school and talk about their experiences, I noticed that there's a trend, because when I was getting my stuff together, I was like, I don't have a chance if this is what the applicant pool is like. So I'm not traditional. So if you're not traditional too, just know that there's hope for you. Okay, there's hope for us. So here we go. I got my associate's degree in imaging sciences, radiologic technology. So I was an x-ray tech. I did that first. Then I got my bachelor's degree through an online school that has a liaison with my community college. It's an online school that also has a brick and mortar campus in Ohio. Got my bachelor's in healthcare management. Then I did post-bac classes because I didn't have all the prereqs together. I had to get organic chemistry, the most wonderful class in the world. So associates, bachelor's, post-bac, then I applied, and then I got in. My cumulative GPA was a 3.0, which was right what they needed. They needed a 3.0, I had a 3.0. My bachelor's GPA was where there were some issues because it was dusty and crusty and ashy. I had some issues during my bachelor's and my GPA suffered. At one point, it was so low that I didn't think I was going to graduate, but I kept pushing on and I graduated, and then I did my post-bac, and my post-bac grades were spectacular. So I think the upward trend is probably what got my foot in the door. So if you're suffering right now, just keep pushing on, okay? Keep pushing on. You'll make it. My science GPA was a 3.7 because I like science stuff, so I did pretty well in that. My patient care experience and healthcare experience. I had 20,000 hours of experience. Yes, 20,000, not 2,000. 20,000. Told you guys I wasn't traditional. So I had been working the whole time I was getting my associates, my bachelor's, my post-bac. I've been working as an x-ray tech since I got my associate's degree. So all of that experience, all of those hours together, I worked every shift you can think of. I've worked in surgery, I've worked in pain management, I've worked in outpatient, I've worked in inpatient, I've worked in the intensive care. I was working and I was tired, but it gave me all that experience. So if you're not popping in one area of your application, you can be popping in another. I wasn't popping on the GPA side. Even my science GPA that was a 3.7 wasn't a 4.0, but I was killing it in the patient care experience side. So find somewhere to shine. Find somewhere to shine. Everybody's different. I was 30 at the time I applied, and I'm 31 now. So 30 at time of application, 31 at time of acceptance. I only applied to one school. Yeah, I only applied to one school because that's all I could afford. Like I said, I was getting married, so I didn't really have the money to go across the country, pay multiple CASPA fees, fly, stay in a hotel, go to an interview. I didn't have the resources for that. So my plan was that I was going to apply to this school, which was my number one choice. I was going to apply to them, get rejected, and I was like, okay, cool. Now I know how CASPA works, and then I was going to apply the next year after taking 1 or 2 classes that would broaden my horizons of schools to apply to. But then I got an interview, and then I got accepted. And I don't have to do the extra stuff anymore. So the lesson we learn here, kids, is if you qualify, if you meet the requirements for a school, send in that application. Don't wait to say, I want to increase my GPA to make it. Apply. applicant pools change from year to year. The applicant pool this year compared to your stats versus the applicant pool next year compared to your stats, this year might be the year of your favor and manifestation. Like, this might be the year that you get in, because if I had waited and applied the next year, who's to say the pool of people there? What if there was a bunch of other people that had 20,000 hours with me, and then that wouldn't make me shine? You just never know, is all I'm saying. You don't know. So once you meet the threshold to apply, you meet the GPA requirements, you have all the prerequisite classes, you have it, send it in. Just send it. Just send in your application. You don't know what's going to happen. I didn't think I was going to be in PA school, but I am, and it's fantastic. Send in your application. Once you qualify, just send it in, okay? The worst that'll happen is you won't get it and you try again next year. But what if you get it this year? Send it in. All right, my classes in the summer semester, we took anatomy, pathophysiology, an introductory course to the PA profession, kind of telling us what PAs do and the governing bodies and all that cool stuff. A class called health promotion and disease prevention, kind of trying to get your patients to not get sick versus treating them when they are sick. So kind of tools and tricks to do that. And a class on U.S. healthcare policy and law, and then an introductory class to evidence-based medicine. So, of course, anatomy is the big doozy. A ton of information, meeting 3 times a week, ton of cadaver lab work. One of the reasons I chose my school, the only school, one of the reasons I chose it was because we got our own cadavers. There was 4 of us to a table, and you got your own body, and the body was intact by the beginning of the course, and by the end we had cut it all open. We did it ourselves, hands-on. It's great. It's great. I don't know if your school has one or not, but that's one of the things I loved about my school. And because we have that lab, the time you spend in anatomy lab will reflect on your grades. There is no shortcut to it. There is no way around it. You have to spend extra time. If you just come during the class session and you dissect and then you go home and you just read stuff, it's not going to work. You have to be in there. You have to get your hands in there. You have to know that the prostate on your body looks like this. But the body down at table number 8 has an enlarged prostate, has BPH. So that's what a BPH prostate looks like. Oh, okay. But then the body down at table number 2 has an enlarged prostate, but that's prostate cancer. So cancer, BPH, totally different looks. This body doesn't have a uterus. That body has a bunch of fibroids in the uterus. That body has a bunch of cysts in the ovaries. That body has 1 ovary. That body has 3. You have to spend the time. You got to be in there. And we would come in on the weekends. We would come in at night. Some people come early in the morning, 5, 6 in the morning. Spend the time is the best thing I can tell you for anatomy. I loved anatomy. I did great. It was a lot of work, but it was very fun because I was like, this stuff is fascinating to me. This is awesome. Let's see. Unexpected challenges. The U.S. Healthcare and Policy class was the most unexpected challenge because it was not science. It was law. How does a bill become a law? The Senate, the Congress, the stakeholders, the systems affected, exclusions, just all kinds of legal jargon that we didn't really have an interest in, I'll be honest. But you have to know the law so you don't break the law, because people that break the law is either that they just want to break the law because they're just bad like that, or they just don't know what the law says. So it's helpful to know the law, but it was just so tasking on us, that class. But we made it through. So there'll be some unexpected challenges. Don't just think, oh wow, so much information. No, you're gonna meet some classes that you're like, man, I didn't know I was gonna have to know this, but you'll get through it. All right, we had exams about every 2 weeks, I want to say, and then we had quizzes here and there. Write everything out at the beginning of the semester so that you know what it's going to look like. You know, this is a heavy week, this is a light week. This week we don't have anything, this week we have 5 things. Write it out early, and it will help you mentally prepare for it. Our class composition, I am one of the older people. We have a couple of people above 30, myself and a few other people. The oldest person in our class is 37. The youngest is 21. Most people are in their 20s, between, I want to say, 22 and 26. And we spend every single day together. You will spend a lot of time with your classmates every single day. Our schedule is 8 to 5, Monday to Friday, every single day. Of course, you'll find who you get along with more than other people, but it is key to see yourselves as a group and to act as such, and to see your success as a unified effort. Of course, you study on your own, you take the exams on your own, but when you're able to share resources, you don't look at the person that has more experience than you or that seems to know stuff more than you do as a threat, because in PA, we don't do residencies, right? So we're not really competing with each other. If you get an A and that person gets a B, you guys both pass the class. If you get 100% on the pants and that person gets 80% on pants or whatever, you guys both pass pants. Nobody's gonna ask you what you got. So don't look at each other as threats. Look at someone who knows more or different than you as an opportunity for you to learn from that person or to use that person as a resource. We have a lot of scribes. They are great at taking patient eval and histories. Like, they beautiful notes. I don't know how to write a note. My notes suck. They're gonna get better. We just started. But I look at the scribes like, okay, she knows what she's doing. I'm gonna ask her, how do you do this? How do you know what to put in, what to leave out? I'm from a radiology background, obviously, 5 years. I look at an X-ray or CT, immediately I know what looks right and what looks wrong. Most people don't know that. So I make myself available as a resource for radiology, and that way everybody does well. Group effort. You may not like, you don't have to study as a group, just know everyone's strengths so you know who to go to for what things. Some people are awesome at musculoskeletal stuff. We have EMTs, you know, they know all about the where you open the emergency airway. They know the levels. Just look at everyone's strengths and pull from them and use them as your success so you can succeed as a group. That's a key thing. Look at your class as your team, your homies. Don't look at anyone as a threat, because it won't work well for you. Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay, the amount of studying I did this summer honestly was less than I thought I was gonna have to do. I thought my life was over. I'm gonna see my husband. I was gonna be in class every single day studying after that. And I think the reason why the summer was okay for me was because it's all basic sciences expounded on and introductory stuff to the profession. So if you're in PA school, then you had to take anatomy, obviously. So you have the base knowledge of this stuff already. It's just that you get more in depth, where it's like, okay, this muscle, you knew it from your basic anatomy, but now we're gonna say this muscle is a group in these muscles, and these are the disorders that can happen, and this is how you test for it, where you didn't do all that stuff before. So if you enjoy anatomy and stuff, as much information as it is, you will probably do well. And if you don't do fantastic, it doesn't mean you're not gonna be a great PA. I had a great summer. I was able to still maintain a pretty good social life. Actually, I had intent. I was like, this summer is not gonna suck for me. I'm gonna have a good summer. And I did. I had to turn down a couple things, obviously, because, you know, school comes first. But most of the things I wanted to do, I did. And my grades were still really, really good. So it's about what you make it. You have to plan. You know, failing to plan is planning to fail. So once you plan things properly, you'll still be able to accomplish the things you want to do. And you have to weigh, like, if you have a wedding that you want to go to and it's like your only sister versus you have a concert, maybe don't go for the concert and go for the wedding. So speak to your professors, let them know. They will work with you. You know, life doesn't have to stop, you know. It ain't that deep. It is, but you know what I'm saying. When you're taking your exams, some people are just not good test takers. Think of it as you have to pass the test to move to the next level, and then you will use that knowledge. So if you don't destroy the test and you didn't do, it does not mean you're going to be a bad PA. It does not mean that at all. You should be able to retain information, obviously, but just make sure that you keep that in perspective. So, because there's people that want to get A's on everything. That is not realistic. That is a good way to set yourself up for failure, because you keep beating yourself up when you got a B, when everybody else got C's and you got a B and you were the highest. Perspective is key. Seriously, perspective is key. Like, I had a friend who's in a different program, and when she started, she was like, I'm gonna get at least a 95 on every single exam. And every week she was pissed because she was getting 90s. You're getting 90s. You're doing awesome. Don't set this ridiculous standard for yourself. Make sure you're doing well so you have wiggle room, obviously, you know, by trying to fail out. But to just don't be unrealistic. And remember the fact that the profession you're in does not have things you're competing for after the fact. You just have to make sure that you pass and pass well, and everything will be fine. So keep that in perspective. Okay, some tips. Go to class. I only missed one class because I was sick, but the key thing I will say about going to class, especially as a PA student, we know that we're following the medical model. We know that we're learning pretty much the same thing the med students are. The difference is, because of the short time, there are some things that we'll be focused on, and there are some things that will not be focused on quite as much, because we are going to be general practitioners. If you don't go to class and you're studying on your own, you're going to be studying on a bunch of stuff that's not being focused on in your class program, possibly. And then you go to the exam and you know all this stuff, but it doesn't help you pass the test and move on to the next level. So when you go to class, you know what to focus on for the exam, and you know what you can study for your own knowledge and for your own professional, you know, advancement. So go to class. Very important. Our class had a drive a shared Google Drive where anyone who found something that, oh, this is really great with helping you memorize the muscles, these are some good mnemonics, this is a video that showed about lung volumes and tidal volume and inspiratory reserve, I thought this was, we would upload it there. So everyone has access to it, everyone can edit, everyone can add. So that way our resources are being pooled and everyone can learn, you know. And some people just make some awesome flow charts and flashcards. I don't like flashcards. I can use them, but I don't like to make them. So we have a bunch of people that love making them, and making them is the way they learn. So they make the flashcards, they learn, they share. I learn from the flashcards. Everybody wins. So sharing resources and collaborating is really good. Make sure that you take breaks. If you don't take breaks, you will burn out, you will study everything, and then it will be time for the exam and you will not remember what you studied because you did not take a break. When you take a break, the synapses and the connections in your brain, they're able to solidify. Get sleep. There was one week I was studying so hard and I was not sleeping. My face broke out, my skin was dry, it was just a mess. And then I went to sleep and I was like, oh, I feel so much better. Please get sleep. Sleep is very important. Sleep is a very important resource. Okay. Some commentary on the fall semester that we're in now. I thought the summer was hard. This is on a different level. So now we're doing clinical medicine, we're doing patient evaluation, actual PA stuff. And I was like, yes, this is what I'm here for. This stuff is hard. This stuff is hard. This stuff is detailed. There's no, oh, you don't need to know this. No, you have to know everything. And you have to show that you're proficient in these things as well. So enjoy your summer semester. That's going to sound silly and crazy when you're in the middle of it. But enjoy your summer because it's a whole different universe than the fall. The fall is the upside down. Enjoy your summer. Enjoy it. Finally, I just want to say, like, if you're watching this and you're in PA school, you've got accepted, you are about to start, you're in the middle of it, you're watching this video instead of studying. I know how it is. It's okay. It's hard, okay? If it was not hard, everybody would do it. It's hard. But think about the fact that of all the people that apply to these programs, they chose you. They decided that they wanted you to represent their program. They decided that you have what it takes, you will be able to finish, you will do well, and you will be a great practitioner. So they saw all those things in you. You have to see it in yourself too. If you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to do well, because there's going to be days that you'll do stuff and you'll be like, I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm doing. The first anatomy quiz I took, I got a 2 out of 10. 2. I got 2 out of 10. I went home that day and I was like, this is not going to work. Only for me to go forward and actually change my study habits and spend more time in the lab. And I got like a high score on the exam that came up. You can do it. You just have to believe that you can do it. Because if you don't believe you can do it, you will not accomplish it. You will get beaten down, you will get discouraged, you will get tired. So many people want to be in the position you're in if you're a PA student. There's people that are applying over and over and over, and you're in. You can do it. You have what it takes. They saw it in you. Just see it in yourself. This is a fantastic profession. We are so lucky that this exists, that this is an option for us to practice medicine. You're a general practitioner, so you can really choose what you want to do. You can go all over the country. You can work for the VA. Being a PA is going to be a fantastic thing. Every day that I spend in school, not one day goes by where I think this profession that I'm choosing is not the right one for me. I'm more intensified and sure in my choice. It's just a matter of getting through the work. But being a PA, I can just tell it's just going to be the bomb. It's going to be awesome, and I'm glad that I'm in it. All right, so this is the video. I'm going to try to post these like at the end of every semester. You know, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes. But thank you for watching. You don't have to subscribe because I'm not here that often. But I'm going to keep info coming about my experience as a PA student and kind of, you know, keep information out there, because I know I learned a lot from watching other people's videos and their posts. So I want to make sure that I give back so other people can see, you know, how it is on the inside. All right, I am done. I am now going to eat some food and study. You guys take care, and I'll see you the next video. Bye.